Great day, great day, great day. How are you guys doing on this wonderful Monday? I see a
Good,
couple
good.
new faces, a couple of seasoned. I love that. I love that. So, for you guys that are new, my name is Raquel May David. I am your host today. My co host is Mr. David Sanchez, and our moderator is JM. So, while you guys are in this room, just look at, come on, David. Ow. We are here to help you get acquainted with the software. We're gonna go through sequence. We're gonna wait to let a couple of people in because we do know we have shock. JM, we get to see your face on the day. Yes. For y'all that don't know, I love to see faces. That way we can kind of connect and see if there's a gap or a pause. So if you are by your computer and you are able to turn on your cameras, please do so. If you are driving, please be careful while you're driving, but you can still turn on your camera and show me your beautiful faces. I would love it. I am going to be your host for today, and we are going to get into it. Hey, Coach Gigi, how you doing? Love the backdrop, darling. So as everyone comes in, if you guys are new to the room, I love to do an icebreaker. So sometimes it is not business related and sometimes it is business related. So that while we're waiting for people to come on in, we're getting to know each other and we're able to kind of build on this credit experience together. So before I get started, JM, can you drop in the chat the Dispute Panda community? I want to make sure everyone has it. If you guys are new to this room, you do not have to do credit building on your own. So whether you're doing this for yourself or you're doing this for your family, I 1000% want to help you be successful in what you're doing. And one of the major perks in being a part of the Dispute Panda community is that we actually do have a community, y'all, like no shade, no tea. So on my screen in the actual chat, you guys will have the ability to click on join the Dispute Panda community. If you have not done so, please take time right now to go ahead, drop it in the chat. Click it from the chat and sign up to the community. We want to help you be successful with credit repair from the ground level, and you get to speak to other people that are in this group that are seasoned, some that are new, so they might be asking questions that you're asking, but you don't have to be floating around by yourself trying to figure it out, or only hitting me up on Monday and Wednesdays when I'm here. So our goal is to go ahead and make sure that you guys have all the tools to be great and credit beast in these streets. And it does start with building a really great community. So if you guys have not yet, definitely click the link in the comments and start off. So I like to start with icebreakers as we're waiting for everyone to get in the group. We normally start right at about between the 5 and the 10-minute marker. So the question of the day is, what was that aha moment that made you say, I want to do better with my credit? You guys can drop it in the chat. I'll read it off. If you want to come off mute, I love to hear voices. Although my voice, as my son would say, is magical, and that's only because he gets a yes 97% of the time. I love to hear from you guys and hear what you guys got going on. So what was that shift? What was that moment that made you guys go, I want to do better for myself, or I want to do better for my community? Go ahead and drop it in the chat. Okay, shout out to Wayne for the first one in the chat. He says, being able to help other people. Yes, yes, yes. I remember starting my journey, it was to figure out where the heck I was, y'all, because, I didn't know that I had bad credit. I didn't even know what credit was. And I had a mama who was a model. So my mom would get buckets of money and then kind of like blow through it. Thank goodness for my stepdad, who always kept a standard 9 to 5, but having that experience of that duality, and when she became an entrepreneur, being able to see the difference of how to navigate money, that conversation wasn't a constant. So I didn't know what credit was until I was in my 20s, right? Jay said, because I don't like when my reports are wrong and big companies take advantage of you. Come through, Jay. Come through with the credit facts. Just a quick tip, when you guys see this is also good content for you to post on your social media. So do not leave it hanging. This is a great way for you to engage and connect with people. Like why you started, why you're in the game. Like this gives you the connectability to your organic tribe, right? Anyone else? I think it looks like we're a little late today, but we're about to get started. We're about to get into it. If anyone wants to come off of mute, let me know. We're going to get started in 4 minutes. If you guys are already at the community, I am going to drop, let me move this out the way. I am going to drop this in the chat as well. This is the link for Dispute Panda. So I like communication. So you guys can come off mute. You can drop emojis. Let me know what y'all are thinking. For all the people who are here who already have the Dispute Panda software, drop a panda in the chat. For all of you that do not have the software as of yet, and this is your first introduction, give me a heart so I know how many people are in the room from one side to the other. Panda, Panda, Panda. For real, I just made a post, y'all, like with that song, Panda, Panda. And I know it's corny, but I liked it because I'm corny. All right, so Coach Gigi is new. All right. So we have one panda. Everybody else, we got a few people in here. Okay, we got new. Okay, so for the people who are dropping hearts in the chat, where we're going to start is on the screen that I'm showing you right now that says disputepanda.com. I like to do training a little bit unorthodox, so you guys will be able to be very interactive with me. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with this page. We're going to break out into a training video really quickly. And then after the training video, we are going to dive into doing it in person. So if you do not have Dispute Panda, if you guys don't know what it is and how to break it down, I'm going to dive in and give you all of the tea on how you can do credit repair with zero overhead from this software. Okay, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to give it to you. So with that being said, I did drop the information in the chat for the Dispute Panda. Thank you guys for those that communicated your why into starting credit repair and why you guys are passionate about what you do. Wayne and Jay, y'all are the real MVPs. And okay, so we're going to get started just a little bit early. So what I want to tell you about Dispute Panda is a very amazing software that this version that I'm going to take you through, because I'm going to show you the pro and the traditional standard version, allows you to have powerful AI help you with doing disputes for your clients. And as I go through the program, I'm actually going to show you how you will be able to go ahead and actually have yourself as a client or your family members and friends, if you're doing this as a business, right, and you have customers, how to get them to sign up and you be able to process their credit report on this software for $0 on your end, right? I love to give y'all the tea. I love to get into it. Mr. LeBron. Look, do you see that? Do you see that there's no updates on the thing now? Look, he done came in. Y'all don't know I'm delayed with putting everything in. And the last 2 weeks, I've had update needed to be done. And I was like, I promise you, I'm going to fix it before live tonight. So I did it. See, I told you I was going to do it. I'll honor my word. So we're going to get into it today. Thank you, darling. Thank you. We're going to get into it today, and we're going to start from the beginning. So Dispute Panda is a software that you can sign up completely for free. As we go through the software, I'm going to sign up with you guys, and you will be able to go ahead and see how simple it is to begin the process. If you have any questions, please take the time to notate it in the chat. I promise you we will have breaks periodically that you can ask questions. And that way, if you're kind of stuck anywhere, you will have the ability to ask, and we can then get into it together. In this main page, you have the ability to kind of see all the things on the top. We're going to go through some of these tabs and talk about what they offer and how they're helpful to you. And then we're going to watch a training video really quickly, and then we're going to dive into doing it ourselves. And then of course, Q&A, the part that I love. All right, so we're gonna start with pricing. So for everyone that is new, Coach Gigi said I was using Credit Repair Cloud. When you get a moment, please let me know how to transfer clients over. We're actually going to do that together. So I'm going to show you how to do it singly, and I'm going to show you how to import all your clients. We're actually going to watch a video, and then we're going to go in so you can see that. So Dispute Panda allows that every time you do a round or an attack, depending on what the verbiage is, an attack is a round. So every single month, you're processing an attack, which is a round of letters that go out to the credit bureaus, and depending on if you have Dispute Panda Pro, to the creditors for your clients. Every time you process that, it's just $17 per round. Now, if you decide to do bulk billing, which I will show you inside the platform, of course, the amount goes down because you're buying more credits. Or if you're like me and you have the credit monitoring with Credit Dino, you actually get a free attack every 35 days for your client. So as long as your client is using the Credit Dino as a monitoring service, you literally are able to pull their credit report every single month, and it charges you $0.00. Okay. If you are looking to get more support, so let's say you're wanting to get an integration system. Great point with Miss Gigi. She's with Credit Repair Cloud and she wants to come over. So with Credit Repair Cloud, you do have to pay for service. One of the benefits to the Pro is you get into the Pro group. So we have the Credit Repair Business Blueprint, which is formerly known as the 30-day CRA with Dominique Brown. That is a part of the Pro program. So if you decide to upgrade to the Pro, it is free for 14 days. You pay, it's $1 for 14 days and then $197 every month, or you can choose to pay the yearly rate. The benefit of getting the Pro is that you have the duality. So speaking of CRC, they have the ability to have your clients have their own portal where they can upload their documents. You can have your contract. You can do all of those things with the Pro. Think of the free version as your client relationship storehouse. So you have the ability to store all your clients in one place, but they're not able to interface with you. You would have to call them. You'd have to send them your own emails, things of that nature. When you go up to the Pro, you have the ability to have emails within the software. Your clients can update information, upload information, and things of that nature with the Pro. And we do also coordinate with Kong. That does allow you to have the funnels and all of the bells and whistles that comes with a nice website, email marketing, all of the things. And it's actually free for 30 days. And then you get 20% off after that 30-day window. So those are the difference between the two. If you are doing credit repair for yourself, I want you guys to drop a smiley face if you are doing credit repair just for yourself, because the conversation and the dialogue is a little bit different. So if you are doing credit repair just for yourself, okay, come through, Jay. Come through, Brandon. Okay. If you're doing credit repair just for yourself, you do not need to go to the Pro unless you are ready to start helping other people outside of your circle. If you are doing credit repair just for yourself, you can choose the free model. It literally goes in today, and you can still take advantage of the free attacks, and I will show you how in a moment. Now, any questions on the pricing plan and what Dispute Panda has to offer so far? Nope, my mic sounds nice. Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so these are some, as you go through the tabs, it's going to give you some features that are available for Pro, and we will have a separate class that will dive into Pro options. And so the Pro, the calculator, and the integration are all for the Pro level software. Okay, so right now, since we have a little bit more people that are doing it for themselves, I want to touch bases on how to be an advocate for yourself and make sure that you're doing everything that you need to do to be successful. So if you saw, I clicked on this training tab. So we do have training Monday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we dive into how to use the software, right? But if you have questions and you're like, hey, I'm not quite sure how to do this, or I don't know how to upload or import, I promise you, if you click on the training tab, the very first thing that you come into is the guide. So if you're doing this for yourself, you have the guide on how to actually do credit repair for yourself. It literally breaks down the flow step by step, and I'm going to show you the guide. So for all of you that are at home by your computer, the first thing that I need you to do, click on that training tab, and I want you to click on free download. It's going to take you to this software right here. It's going to take you to this PDF, sorry. And the PDF is going to break down the attacks that have been proven to be successful. You can choose any attack that you like. This is just a format. So instead of you learning credit from like the basic level, it's giving you a step-by-step what you should do every 35 days on your profile, right? Just from the ground level. So the very first thing I need you to do once you come to this software is to come to this website is click on training and click free downloads. Now, if you are not able to see my face, David's face, or JM on a Monday and a Wednesday, and you have questions, okay? All you got to do is scroll on down, and there's videos for training on everything. How to import, how to add your client, understanding what the profile tab says, understanding what the document tab says. It gives you all of the meat and potatoes of how to effectively use the software on your own. We just like to be extra because I'm extra, okay? I was born in February. I was the first child, and I'm extra, okay? So we like to give you the flavor, okay, honey? So with that being said, you guys have full training. You can literally click on any tab that you're wanting to, and you will literally get the answers that you need. If for some reason you have additional questions and you're like, hey, I don't understand, this is not working for me, you can click on contact here or within the software. And I promise you, you are able to get real-time customer service support. They're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to help you get into what you need to do and how you need to do it. So let's say you have a question specifically on a client. You are able to go ahead and type in your name, you type in your email, and then you can say, I'm having a problem with documents, with rounds, with mailing, whatever your issue is, you type in the client's name. So if that means it's you as an entity, you have the ability to go ahead and put your name down. If it's a client, you would put the specific client's name down to be able to get the support that you need. And you just basically explain what's going on and you will get support. So if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and email, you can email customer service or you can click on contact. If you have general questions, like you're like, hey, I want someone from the Dispute Panda team to be on my podcast, you can literally come in here and have like a general question that has to do with that and just select one, and customer service will be able to redirect your information accordingly. So I love that. Before we start watching the videos, does anyone have any questions on what we've covered so far? Nope. Okay, we got a few people coming in. Now, I'm going to try my best to only keep y'all here an hour. Again, the key word is I'm going to try my best. Okay, I've been trying. See, I don't like how you shook your head like that, concert. I am trying my best to get in here and get out. But I promise you, it's not as easy as I think, because I always open the floor and I want to make sure everyone's getting what they need. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start at how to add a client, and then we're going to do it together as a group. Once we're done with the onboarding process and going through the whole onboarding of the software, I'm going to open the floor for Q&A. So we're going to get started here. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio once I press play, okay? Just give me a thumbs up if you guys have your camera on, or drop it in the chat.
In this tutorial, we're going to cover the dashboard tab, settings, adding yourself as a client, adding someone else as a client, or adding all of your clients for another credit repair software to Dispute Panda. So first, let's look at our dashboard tab. Once you log in, you'll come to a screen that looks like this. And let's do a quick overview. So your to-do list breaks down the things that you need to do for the clients that you've added. So if you added yourself to Dispute Panda, once 35 days has passed, you will have something on your to-do list specifying that you need to move forward. Missing documents will specify all the clients that are missing documents, and birthdays are showing the clients that have birthdays coming up. You have the ability to upgrade to Dispute Panda Pro. We'll cover Dispute Panda Pro in a different tutorial. You also can become an affiliate of Credit Dyno. So Credit Dyno is the recommended credit monitoring for Dispute Panda. When you use Credit Dyno at the time of this recording, you will receive a free attack every 35 days. And there's another training for that. If you click this, become affiliate, you can become an affiliate of Credit Dyno and earn up to $22 for every referred client that signs up for Credit Dyno monitoring via your link. We'll also send an email to support@creditdyno.com for their additional affiliate commission plans. All right, that is our dashboard tab. Let's add ourselves as a client to Dispute Panda. So you want to go to clients, and then you're going to see a screen that looks like this. You have your active clients and inactive clients here. You can search for clients. You can use a filtering system. So as you add more clients or people that you would like to help, you can use the functions here to navigate them easily. When you hit the new client, you want to fill all this information in. Now, this is important. Everything you put here will be on the letters that you send to the credit bureaus. So you need to make sure that the first name, last name, middle name, phone number, last 4 digits of the social, the street address, all of this has to match what is going to be on your identification documentation that you're sending as well. And we're going to get into that in a second. If you are adding yourself into Dispute Panda first, put in your first name, last name, and everything like that, be mindful of your email address. You cannot use the same email that you use to sign up for your Dispute Panda account. So let me fill this out to give you an example of what I mean. Now, I've completed this as a new client, and I use the same exact email address that I used to establish my Dispute Panda account. If I was to go to click save here, you're going to get an error message. Client cannot have the same email address as CFO. What this means is you cannot use the same account you're using to log into Dispute Panda as your own client. So you have to have a different email address. If you wanted to use the same email address and it's the Gmail, you can just add a plus here, then I'm able to save. Once you create yourself inside of the system, you add clients manually the same exact way. Now, if you're an existing credit repair company and you're moving from other softwares, you can do a mass import of all your clients by using the import function here. Once you click the import button, you will click upload a CSV file using this template. So you can go to your other credit softwares, you can download your list in an Excel file, and then you want to modify that list to make sure it looks like this template. So let me open up the template for you. So that template file looks like this, and it includes everything that's needed to create a client. So all the fields here are all the fields that we just manually input. So once you have your list from your other credit software, you will come in and then you will add them here too. You just pretty much add a row, you put the email in, the first name, the middle initial, if they have one, the last name, suffix is not required, phone number is, your date of birth, your last 4 of your social, your street address, your city, the state, put US as a country, and then the zip code. Once you have this all done and complete, you simply will come back here, you will click upload CSV file, and then you will add the CSV file that you just saved with all your clients, and then everything will populate easily. If you are having issues doing a mass import, you can send an email to info@disputepanda.com. If you provide a CSV file or an Excel sheet with all of your clients, support can help you do a bulk import of your clients. So let's move on to once you have your...
So how does everyone feel about what they just watched? How you feeling, Miss Gigi? You feel good? Yeah?
Yeah, really good. Really
Okay.
good.
Good. So even if you're having a hard time doing it, do not feel overwhelmed. You can literally send the file to customer service, and they will be at info@Dispute Panda, and they will go ahead and help you import all your clients as well. So whether you have 5 or 300 will help. Okay. One of the perks that I like to talk about when it comes to this software in comparisons to others is that it's completely free if you have a team member. So Ms. Gigi, I don't know if you have a virtual assistant or anything like that, but if you do, and you want to give them access to the platform, I'm going to show you when we get into the software how you can do that. They will have their own login and you're not paying extra for it, even if you're doing the free version. So you have the ability to give them access, and that way they can't make any edits or changes, but they can work the client files that you've dedicated to them and not have to worry about paying additional logins for that ability. So totally love that. And yes, I love how she said, wow, yes, girl, that's why I'm trying to get you to tea, whatever. So we're going to get started with sign in. Before we get started here, does anyone have any questions, concerns, or comments? Nope. Wayne, we love that you love it. Go ahead. What questions do you have, my love?
This video is recorded. Where can I access it after? Because I missed the first 30 minutes.
No problem. The first 30 minutes was a video, and JM will drop the YouTube channel so that you'll be able to do it. And since you just came in, I also want to tell you that training, if you have any questions, where I want you to start at is training at the very top. You want to hit download guide. Okay. You want to make sure you hit download guide, because guide is going to tell you exactly what attacks they are, how you can utilize for your clients. So you'll actually be able to know how to do credit repair like that. Thanks, David, for dropping the link for me. And that way you have the training videos. But as for this video, David just dropped the link to our YouTube channel, and hopefully I don't mess up this time so we can have a clean video. Any other questions for you?
No, thank you.
My pleasure. Anyone else? No? All right. Jay said, outside of Credit Dino, which other credit reports do you accept or use? We do not use Experian, but I will show you within the system. So since you have those great questions, we're going to dive on in and we're going to start logging in. So for all of those that had hearts, this is where you begin at the sign up page. So for everyone who came in, they were dropping pandas for who already has the software and hearts for those that didn't. So we are going to create an account right now in real time together. Okay. So as you saw on the video, one of the things that you want to make sure that you do is you want to make sure that you sign up with your business. If you have a business, you're going to sign up with your business email. If you're doing this for yourself, because we did have a couple of hearts of people who are doing it for themselves, you want to make sure that you have 2 separate email addresses. So for instance, I have a mayraquel@gmail.com, and then I have a raquelmay@gmail.com. If I'm adding myself as a customer, I'm going to have to select one and then use the other one for the customer profile, one for the business profile. Does that make sense? Yep, cool. All right, so I'm going to use all the emails that I got, y'all. I don't even have no more pretend emails. I'm going to use my husband's email. I don't know. We're gonna figure this out together. Okay, so I'm gonna put an email in here. I'm gonna put my phone number in here. And then if you have a company, you can put the company name in here. If you do not have a company, do not fret. You can leave it blank. If you decide to transition this into a business, I will be showing you the tab where you can add your business name and your information in. Easy peasy. So
I have a question.
yes.
Does it matter who invite you in or you sign up under? Am I still able to, I'm sorry, get, am I still able to get the same training and
Yes.
support? The same?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Everyone here is VIP, darling. Everyone here is VIP. No matter how you got in, okay? You are now in the VIP section. You can see Beyonce upstage, okay, on these Beyonce internet. You are completely free to come in, and it's the same training. So we have training Monday and Wednesday for the standard. For those of you who have the pro and are in the CRBB program, we meet on Thursdays and we dive into more credit repair conversations there. So yes, so whichever one is easier and accessible to you, we have no issues there. Any other questions?
Yes, how do I get in the pro and then the training on Thursday?
Okay, I will actually show you how you can upgrade to pro in 1 second once I get to the main screen. And I'm gonna also show you how you can become an affiliate for credit monitoring and get the credit monitoring so you can do credit repair for free. I'm gonna show you both. Great questions. My pleasure. Okay, so this is a wonderful service agreement. It tells you what Dispute Panda does, what you do, have an understanding of how the platform works. I am not going to read over this today, but you guys do have the ability that once you registered, you can come back in and read the terms and conditions in order for you to know how you're doing business with the corporation. Understand that this is a website and a software for you to be able to help with fixing your credit, and artificial intelligence is definitely used. Once you set up your profile, what you're going to want to do is, you don't have to do it right now, but you are going to want to check your email and verify your email address. This is not something that's going to stop you from moving forward. You just want to get this done. I normally say within 24 to 48 hours, just to make life easier for you, and you lose the email link. I'm going to cover what this whole dashboard looks like, and then we're going to load ourselves in as a client. I normally recommend, I've been doing credit repair now on and off for about 19 years. I'm very transparent that I feel like if you're going to be doing this as a business, you want to know how this is going to look like for your clients. So that means you're sending letters, you're looking at what the platform looks like, you're understanding how the letters go out. So if the letters come back to the client and the client is talking to you, you can speak to the information in real time, right? So if you are not intending to repair your credit, that is completely fine, but I am going to definitely advocate that you load yourself in the software so you have familiarity of what the software looks like and how to maneuver it when you're on your own, okay? So this is the main dashboard. The main dashboard has basic information. If you are on the pro level, it will give you the rounds, missing docs, and birthdays. If you are just on the free level, it does not tell you the client's birthday, but this is a really good way to keep in connection with your clients, because now you can send them a quick text message like, hey girl, hey, I see it's your birthday. What up, big homie? This is literally how I talk to my people. So don't worry, this is literally what I sound like. I mean, like, hey, big bro. Everyone's my bro because I'm always the youngest in the group. But I'll send messages like, hey, happy birthday. And if you send it from your company, again, I do have some corporate clients that I'm very pristine about. So with them, I do say, hey, just from Evolving Eve, we're so happy that it's your birthday and you get to celebrate it with us. Sometimes I might give a gift card or something of that nature, like a nice little Starbucks situation. Completely up to you. You don't have to do that. I don't always do it, but sometimes I do. With that being said, you get to see all of that information here. If you are looking to upgrade to the Panda Pro, you can literally, in this software, click upgrade, and you'll be able to upgrade from this software to the Panda Pro. And that way, right now it is $1 for 14 days and then $197 thereafter, right? Also, before we get started, I want to talk about, I'm going to cover the advantages of the Pro in 1 second. I want to talk about the credit dyno. So one of the things that was asked is, I want to make, like, a lot of people ask, like, how can I make money passively? A lot of times credit monitoring is a way to do it. Now, Credit Dyno is a little bit different and unique by the fact that we offer the ability for you to get 7 years of your credit report versus other credit monitoring sites that only gives you 2. So that means if you're disputing something for your client, you get to see their full 7-year report, and you're able to educate them and coach them on that information. And I'm actually going to show you what that looks like in a minute, so you'll be able to clearly see. you will be able to see what has been late in the past 5 years, and not just talk to them now, because sometimes you'll look at the credit monitoring and it will say that they were derogatory, but all you're seeing is that they've been on time for the past 2 years. And that's because most credit monitoring only captures that 2-year window. Credit Dyno, on the other hand, does not. So you do not have to wait. You can actually sign up for an affiliate. And I'm actually going to show you guys how you can sign up for Credit Dyno for yourself. So if this is something that you want to do on your own, you can get your affiliate and sign up on your affiliate. I'm just saying. Or you can go to creditdyno.com and you can actually hit sign up and register today. If you sign up here by itself, you get 7 days for free, and then it's $29.99 a month. Or you can do it through your affiliate link and it's $29.99. So when you're giving this to your client as an affiliate, they're paying the $29.99 in real time. Okay. But again, you get 7 years of their full credit report, the whole 7 years, and you get a free round of attack because you're using Credit Dyno. So that means you're not paying the $17 to pull that round of attack for disputes for your clients, because it's completely free for you. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in a moment. All right. So as I'm doing that, anyone that needs to sign up to Credit Dyno, please, please, please do that while we're going through, so that I can make sure that if you have any questions while we're on the call, we can dive in and handle it. Now, I like to go through these settings on the side. If you see up here, this is where you can go and type in your client. It is a 3-character limit, which means with minimum, which means if you're looking to find a client, you want to type out at least the first 3 letters of their name, first name or last name, so that it can pull up. Otherwise, it won't generate. But if you can see, you see how it says type in at least 3 characters, it will help you look for the client. But you can also click on the client tab here. And if you want to see your active clients, you can see them. If you want to see your inactive clients, you have the ability to do that as well. And this is where you would go and import, or you would add a new client. And we're going to come back here in a moment for you guys to utilize. Okay. When you have sent out a round of letters for your clients, you have the ability to see the client name, the attack style that you chose, where the letters went to, the date and time, and also Dispute Panda has the ability to mail the letters out for you. I love to talk about this option because everyone's not a control freak like me. Like I promise you, on my social media last night, I actually made a post because I like to stuff the letters. Like I hire my kids to stuff the letters. They did not make any money this week, y'all. Okay. Because ain't nobody stuffed the letters. Everybody said they were going to help me this week. And I had 7 clients. One of them had 49 letters to go out. And none of these people in here came downstairs and helped me stuff envelopes. But I like to do it. I have my 6-year-old. That's our thing. We go to the post office together on the weekends normally. But midweek, I normally go. I personally send out letters on Wednesday, and then I do it again on Saturday. That's just my order that I normally do. But Dispute Panda can send your letters out for you. So in the software, you do have to pay for the letters being generated, printed, and mailed out for you, of course. But you are able to go ahead and use this software. And if you're doing it Monday through Friday, it only goes out Monday through Friday, y'all. So if you guys are like me and you work on Saturday or Sunday, either you're going to mail it out yourself or you're going to have to wait for Monday to come for the letters to go out. If the letters are generated and sent over before 12 p.m. same day, the letters will go out that day. If not, it goes out the next business day. If you have tracking, which means you have certified mail and you have the tracking number on it, understand that the software is linked to the USPS. So what that means is you don't have to keep checking both sites. It's the same site and you'll be able to track your letters to see if it's been delivered, where it's at. And I'm going to show you when you have to do certified or when it's recommended to do certified through the process so that you're not kind of surprised as you're going through the process here. So you do have the ability to generate the letters and then just have the system go ahead and mail the letters out for you. The fee is going to be notated when you do the round. So when we pull around and we do the round today, we will go into the mail option and we will see, you'll be able to see what the fees are, because it is subjected to how many letters are being sent out, and if it's color versus black and white, of course, and you'll be able to see that information as well. Great question, but I'll be able to show you guys in a minute once we get the round started. This inbox. So the inbox, the question that Coach Gigi had was, what's the benefit of the pro? So the pro gives you both sides of the interface. So when you think about the free version is you're housing your clients. You have a place to go instead of just using an Excel spreadsheet where you can have them uploaded, you can have all of their documents in, and then when it's time for you to pull another round, you go pull another round and Bob's your uncle, you're good to go. The pro gives you the ability where your clients can now speak to you. So if you need them to upload something, if you need to have dialogue, because you're like, wait a minute, I saw a late payment pop up on your credit report. Let's talk about it. You can have that dialogue in that pro setting. So that's one of the benefits that you have with pro. I'm going to show you another one in a minute once we get down to the reports, but that's one of the highlights that you get, is that the clients get to speak to you as well. Now, with the pro, they are doing something new where you have the ability to have your branded material. Let's say you want to go ahead and share the progress, because I have a clause on my contract that says that I can share results. Now, I'm very careful about my clients. So like I'll remove their whole name, or like I'll be like Miss C, Miss G, or whatever. I'll use that and post the changes and the increases that have happened. Now, I have seen that there are some other softwares that are also doing that. Dispute Panda was actually the first one to roll it out. So I love being a part of the team that does it first. But that's one of the benefits. And also, they're giving you highlights as to what you should focus on when it comes to your clients. So you can actually educate them through the pro software that, hey, this is how you should maneuver with different accounts, and this is the best time for you to pay this or do that with the credit report. So that's a feature that's also under the pro, that's not under the free version. Okay. Subscriptions. If you are looking to get, so for instance, if you have different plans, so I've said before, can we see a report? You know what? I will ask Dom for Wednesday. I'll ask Dominique for him to give me approval for the pro in the training space so that I can show you guys what that looks like. So that you can have it. Yeah, I'm all about show and tell. So the subscription, I have different plans. So for instance, I have a plan for someone who's on my budgeting program. Okay, they have to pass a certain amount of things before they can qualify for credit repair, because I need to know that I'm not doing harm by telling you to fix your credit, and I know you've been late for the past 6 months. I'm not doing that with you, right? So I have different subscriptions, I have different plans, and that is a feature that you're able to load on the Dispute Panda Pro version. You can also integrate it with your payment software. So whether you're using whatever merchant service you're using, you're able to take that KPI as an API and put it in so that you can generate your payment form. And then once your client loads in, they can go ahead and make a payment and you can collect in that interface. So that's, again, is also a pro feature. Also, if you wanted to get to training, you can click this tab. We want you to have access to training every chance you get. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so we make sure y'all read these chats because there's information in there that can really be beneficial. Okay. And then the contact us tab that we talked about. Now, I like to get into the meat and potatoes before I load us in for a customer. This system right here at the bottom where it says balances is what I love. So if you are looking to mail out for your clients and you want the software to do it, you have to have money in the bucket. Now, there are certain things that you can do that does not require money, and we're going to talk about that. But I want you to click on this balance tab because there's some really cool information that's available. So before I go down this side tab, I'm going to come over here really quickly and talk about loading money onto your platform. So we know that every round, if you're not using Credit Dyno, it's going to cost you $17, right? So if you are also going to let the system mail for you, you would go ahead and load based on however much money you want to load into the software so it can house for you, so you can just come in and rotate clients. But if you are starting out with yourself, your wife, your husband, whatever that may be, Dispute Panda did a study and found out that people were buying credit. So what they're doing now is there was a specific amount of credits that were being purchased. So instead of just saying, well, purchase the credit and call it a day, we're wanting to give you more bang for your buck. So what they decided to do was say, if you purchase the $20 per month package, you get $30. If you purchase the $60 per month package, you get $90. This is only ideal if you have minimal customers, meaning you, your mom, your dad. Okay, you're not really going to be using it because everyone's using Credit Dyno. You can use this software. If you're going to have more customers than that, the subscribe and save plan is not ideal for you. So I want to make sure that I'm being transparent with that. When you put your card information in, I want you to be clear that the card information that you're putting in is going to be your information. So if you are a credit repair organization, you are not putting in the customer's card information. You are putting in your business, or if you were like me, when I started doing credit repair, I took one specific credit card and I was like, that's the credit card I'm going to use for all business stuff, right? And that way I was able to navigate the waters and knew what was coming out and when it was coming out. So you're going to put your business card or your credit card on file, not the client's information, if you're going to be using this. If you're not, you can still put the payment method here and you can store your card so that when you're ready to re-up on credits, your card is already saved and you have nothing to worry about. All right. So with that being said, I like to go over this profile because I feel like it's really beneficial and helpful for you to understand the benefits within the software itself. So number one is the profile. This is the person who is logging in and dipping and doing all of the things. So me as the owner, this is going to be my contact information. Okay. I don't know who email that is, but we have to get it out the system. But y'all get the flow. Normally it's going to be your information that's going to be in there, and your phone number. If you want to add a photo, you can definitely do that. The organization, if you are going to be able, or you're going to be using this as a business, you can put your logo in there. If you have the pro on the client side, when the clients log in, they'll be able to see your logo. It's not going to say anything about Dispute Panda. It's literally just going to be a client's portal that they will be able to see your logo, know that it's your company, know that they're at the right place to log in, and you can put your business information, your website, your business email, your business address. And if you have a contract, you can plug the contract in here so that when the client comes on board and they're going through their onboarding process, they will have accessibility to your contract as well. Again, that's a pro feature, not the free version that we're working on today. Okay. If you want to add a team member, you simply click here and you can literally just add your team members and call it a day. I'm going to move this over for a minute, guys. Make this a little bigger. Boom. You can just add your team member and you're good to go. All right. And someone asked what other credit monitoring softwares are used. Credit Dyno, of course, is the preferred one because we do track to see what letters are beneficial and what letters have been working, what changes are going on. Again, because of the artificial intelligence, we are leveraging more because this Credit Dyno and Dispute Panda are working in partnership, right? But if you already have an Identity IQ, or you already have a Smart Credit, or you have a MyScore IQ, login information, you can leverage any one of those. Just understand that these three will be charged the $17 for the round, where this one you don't. Make sense? Clear as crystal? Cool. All right, disputing options. I love this. So I don't know, with everyone being at a different space, sometimes you will see that the credit bureaus will change their address, or you will see for a particular client that a specific address is showing on the credit report and not this one that's listed here. So let's say you look at the credit report and it says Equifax, but the number is not a 1, it ends with a 6. you have the ability to come into the software and actually change the address, and it will print out on the letters that are going out for your clients. Makes it easy peasy lemon squeezy. So if you ever have any issues with sending out letters are being returned, you can come in here and edit the letter to make sure that it goes to the proper address. 1 second, I'm going to open the floor for the question. This goes back to the billing. This is your invoice. So again, it's a pro feature where you're able to see how much you've paid out, what statements are available for your clients, just basically the history of the credits you purchased, as well as payments that have gone out between you and the clients. Activity, you can see the attacks that have been sent out, which is the round of letters. You're able to track the mail, and you're able to see who has credits on their profile. So if they used Credit Dino, for instance, you'll be able to see that Kimberly Washington has a credit for Credit Dino, right? You're able to see all that information. This integration is for the pro option, and this allows you to go ahead and integrate with email softwares. It works with Zapier. So if you're needing integration to kind of like do an email marketing and keep your clients up to date, you have the ability to do that. With the pro, as I said, you get Kong with it as well. And that's an automated software that allows you to go ahead and basically integrate both the platforms together. It is $99 a month after the free 30 days and the 20% off thereafter. And if you want to refer anyone to the Dispute Panda software, you have the ability to do that as well and earn credits and free rounds as well. So now that we've covered all of this, what questions does anyone have? I'm going to open the floor for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to load our first client in. D818E said he had a question. How can I help?
Hey, how you doing tonight?
Paul? Is that
Yeah,
Paul? What's
yeah,
up, Paul? How you doing?
I'm good. I just a
Good,
little bit
good.
support and surprise you tonight. Anyway, um, question is about the credit dialogue, right? So is it every time they pay the $29 every month that they have a free credit, or is it just one time, the first time?
Every month. As long as they keep the credit monitoring on, you will be able to do the one-click import, and they will get that free round every single month.
Wow. And we still get paid the affiliated commission as well.
Yes, and you get the commission. So there are two different tiers of commission. So normally the standard one for the $29.99 is roughly about $8 to $12, I think you make in commission. But there is an option that you can call Credit Dino, and you can switch to the $49.99 plan. That is something that we did recommend to like newbies that are getting started and may not have a merchant service, or like kind of feel like they have a full package together. You can do that option. That option does give you a payout of $22 as a referral bonus. Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
Great question. Great question. All right. So then the next question that we had was, what if you already started credit repair manually? How would you be able to inform Dispute Panda of this process? So if you've already started, Brandy, are you here still, my love?
Yes, I'm here. My background is a little noisy, but I'm here.
Child, you fine. Listen, I have 4 kids and a husband. You fine, honey. Okay, they quiet right now. Don't let them fool you. Okay, it's a trick. But what question that I want to break down that question a little bit more. When you say you started manually, like you've already started factual disputing?
Yeah, so I sent out like a first round of like letters informing like the credit bureaus of unverified information or inaccurate information. And so one of the bureaus has already like sent a letter saying we verified this information or whatever. So I was just wondering, like, if I were to do Dispute Panda, like how would I, inform the software that I'm like already in this process, but I wanted to like transfer over and do it through Dispute Panda instead of like trying to do it manually.
So what you would do is come in here, load you into the system, and pick a flow, and you just start from the beginning. Because these letters are not going to be like the one that you already wrote. Does that make sense? So all you have to do at this point, especially since you're not like 6, 7, 8 months out, you're saying you just started around, you've gotten a response back. my recommendation would be to wait the 35 days and then go on to what would be our round one. So if you're picking the black attack, you would do pinwheel premium. It will go out as certified mail, and that would start your technicality of round one here. Does that make sense?
It does. So it doesn't matter what they've already sent out. Like, okay.
You still got to start at the beginning. I would say different, it depending on where you were and what the verbiage was. But since you're saying like, hey, I just started, I sent my first round out, now what do I do? That's fine. You would just come into the system, pick a flow, and work it from the beginning until the end. Work the flow like it's meant.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure, my love. So I did see that Wayne had a question about yearly. Yes, there is yearly for pro. I did mention that earlier. The yearly gives you 2 months off, and it's $1,970 for you to get a year membership for the Panda Pro. Great question. Any other questions before we dive into loading anyone in? My identification documents are taking up a whole page. Would it be processed? Yes, I will show you that. I will show you how to do your identification. And actually, since we're talking about it, let me pull up this information for you guys before we load our clients in. Hold on, I'm gonna have to exit full screen and then pull this over. Next question is, could you explain how to use Panda for free and earn $1,500 a month? Yes, that's actually what we're doing right now. So yep, we'll go over that in a moment. Great questions, guys. Okay, so this is the identification that is needed in order to help your clients. What I will tell you is that if your client does not have a valid ID that has the address that they're wanting to use as their permanent address, pick something else off of the list. Please, people, then please pick something else, okay? If their valid driver's license has them living in California, but homeboys living in Texas, do not use that. Let's move to the social security card or the paycheck stub or the W-2 of where they are now that can validate who they are and their current address, okay? Also, proof of address. I like to point this out. If we're using the bills, light bill, gas bill, water bill, phone bill, you are only able to use that and you have to get a new one after 90 days. So please, please, please understand, if you're getting supporting documentation for proof of address, it's not a lease. It's not a mortgage statement. It's not even with bank statements. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I still ask for an update in 90 days. I just like to be safe so that the credit bureaus don't try to kick it out, because they do like to play funny games. Okay. And of course, the last documentation is the social security card. I personally only send a social security card the first round. That's just my method. It has not been something before. I used to send it every single round. I don't necessarily do that now for just because I've noticed that it doesn't really make a difference one way or the other. But this is optional. These two are mandatory. Now, if you can see, you see how it has writing down here. If you guys forget, this information is also in the training module. So you do not have to feel like I don't know what I can ask for. It is always here for you to leverage and utilize. And Coach Gigi, nope, there is no cap, because we don't believe in caps here. We don't cap. We don't believe in caps. I know that was corny. Don't judge my life, okay? I'm here to entertain and educate, all right? All right, so now if we're talking about new clients and we're going to start loading ourselves, we're going to begin at the top. We're going to do new client, okay? So with new client, what I want to point out is you want to put the person's information in each box. So if they have a first name, if they want to use their middle name, you can. Middle name is not necessary. First name, last names are mandatory. Personally, if I'm dealing with a family and there are 14 George, 3 Aaliyahs, and one's a senior, one's a junior, one's a third, I'm putting that information in there along with the identification, especially if I'm doing the whole family as a whole, because I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything and everything is clear, okay? Again, here, if you're loading yourself in as a customer, guys, the email that you use to sign up for the platform, you cannot use in the software. You have to use a different email. So Gmail. You're going to put an email in there, and then, yes, I am using it on a Mac. And it's the same thing whether you're using on a Mac or a Droid. I call it a Droid. My husband says it's not called a Droid, but that's what I call it. So it is what it is. Okay. What's my phone number? 3707. Okay. Now you're going to put the client's last four of their social down here. Now this is where I need everyone to pay attention. When you are putting in the address, you are wanting to put in the street address, then the city, then the state. If you put all of it on one line, it is not going to come out well when you are printing out the letters, because this is taking up spaces in the letters that you're generating. Okay. You are going to want to put the right date of birth in here. And I'm putting my date of birth. If you are using the pro version, you would simply click here to invite the client to safe access, and it will send your client an email for them to log in, and then they can upload their IDs and all of the things. If you already have the ID, don't worry, you'll have the ability to still send them this so that if they want to email you or communicate, you have the ability to, but we're going to go into the software. We're going to actually upload the IDs here. What? It says not a valid ID. Valid email address is not valid. You don't know my life. Hold on one second. And it tells you if you're wrong, by the way. Okay. So we now have the client built in. So if you look, we have the profile tab first. It just has the client's information, such as their address, date of birth that's in here. And the very first tab, once you've loaded the client in, that it takes you to is the document tab, okay? So once you are in here and you're in the document tab, what you're able to do is you can drag and drop. I'm a drag and dropper, y'all. If you want to click on the file, you can. You can literally drag and drop. And sometimes clients will send you a big old sheet of paper, y'all, with their ID dead smack in the middle. That means all of this is going to be printed, okay? We don't want to deal with that. We do not want to deal with that. So this software is actually intelligent that it gives you the ability to crop out what is not needed in documentation, okay? So when you are going through, if you know that your client gives it to you on a big page, remember that you're doing this and you still have to pay for paper, you still have to pay for ink, you still have to pay for your envelopes and your stamps, okay? So you want to make sure that you're saving and you're cutting back in whatever space you can. So for instance, I'm going to load this bill, okay? I don't need all this information. First of all, they don't need to know all this information. That's none of their business, okay? So we're going to go ahead and crop it on down here. I'm not even going to take the past due portion because that's none of your business, right? We're going to crop it down here, and I'm going to crop it all the way over and just show the date. If I want to, I can crop it even further and only take the person's name and address if I want to, and that will be the only thing that would be printed. So on the paper, it would have their ID on the top part of the paper, and then this information, it will actually come in one sheet instead of being in two separate sheets. So I know that Britt asked that question. This is how you're able to do it, honey. You're literally able to come in here and make the adjustments, crop and save. And if for some reason you feel like, oh wait, I didn't do that well, you can literally take it out and just do it all over again. Easy peasy. So hang on one second. So I'm gonna crop this here. And this is how I like my letters. This way they know the date is valid. And then I'm gonna add the social security card for the client. Okay, so I don't have to crop anything. Everything's in there. IDs are loaded. Any questions or concerns so far? Nope, we're all good. All right, so When you click on this option, you have the ability to select which credit monitoring you're going to leverage for your clients, right? I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I'm going to plug in the username and password for the credit repair that we're going to be using. But once I plug it in, I literally have to click one-click import. So here's something that I want to explain. When you are looking at this software and you're looking at how to leverage everything, when you're pulling the information in and you're looking at like a smart credit or identity IQ, I want you to understand that you have to log in every single month and into the actual identity IQ, into actual smart credit, and generate and pull the new report. With the credit dyno, you don't. So every 35 days, you literally just come here, you click one-click import, and it will automatically pull an updated report for your clients every 35 days without fail. Okay, so there's nothing that you have to do. You don't have to go out anywhere else and get it done. It's a simple fix. L Branch, you said you wanted to know how you can watch the video. We are going to drop the YouTube link in a moment so that you'll be able to see whatever you may have missed if you weren't able to come in today, or if you just want to watch the replay. Great question. Hang on one second, guys. I am logging in the information. So is anyone having a hard time with getting the credit report into the system? Does anyone have any questions while I'm pulling this up? You can definitely ask.
Yes, with
What
smart
question?
credit,
Uh-huh.
I'm having an issue with smart credit.
What's the issue you're having?
I can't load them. I don't know why.
Okay.
Like when you click on before you can click on the smart credit app, and also it will give you the HTC something, and you're able to download, but it's not doing that anymore. I don't know whether you've noticed that.
Okay, so I remember that you and I spoke and I sent you the PDF for smart credit.
Mm-hmm.
Did you not get the PDF?
Oh, so we still have to use that? I lost
That
that
is
then.
correct. With smart credit, because of the changes that they have made, you have to, what's the word I'm looking for? You have to go to the HTML site in order to then log in for the client. But what you'd have to do is go to regular smart credit, get the updated version, and then go to that site that I sent you from the PDF that says HTML. And then you're able to go ahead and hit the view source, copy it, and then paste it into the software.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that has not been changed. And that's because I think they went from like HTML to JSON, I believe, JSON or something like that. So that is why you're having to go through that in that moment. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions, guys? My pleasure.
For the free version,
Mhm.
when you after you upload the document, the report,
Mhm.
does it recommend you which to dispute?
So that is in the guide that I told you guys to download in the beginning, and we're going to go through that together so you know exactly what you need to select. Now, that's a great question, guys. I want to go ahead and share this with you. So once you have uploaded the credit dyno and you've clicked the one-click import, it literally goes ahead and tells you, thank you so much for using credit dyno. You've earned one free attack credit. So it's instant. Like as soon as you plug the information, as soon as the credit report is uploaded, and as you can see, now it's open the option for disputing, and you now see attack as an option on the screen that wasn't there before, right? Because you have to have the actual credit report to be able to move forward. So once you've done that, you would click on disputing. So this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about when it comes to the Credit Dyno feature and how it's able to help you understand credit as an individual and also coach your clients as well. Can you guys see my screen or no?
No.
Okay, 1 second. Let me go back to sharing again. All right, let me know. Can you see this now? Thumbs up. Okay, cool. So this is what happens. And if you look right down here, it says free attack credit. It actually shows you that you have a free round for that client, and it's designated specifically for that client. So you cannot use it, like you can't use that attack for Linda, right? And you had it for Deborah. You can only use that free round on Deborah because it was pulled for her. Okay. But okay, go ahead. What's your question, my love?
How long do you usually recommend them to stay on paying the prescription?
The subscription for the Credit Dyno, personally, I don't tell them to get off of it. I've actually seen in research that people keep their credit monitoring software on for up to 4 years without any reservation. So even when they leave your program, let's say they've hit the credit score that they're looking for, they've hit that desired goal, you can still be collecting residual passive income specifically from them just keeping the credit monitoring on. And then if they have a hiccup down the road or they need some support, you don't have to worry about it. You already have their information and you can get right back into helping them like they never left. Okay, great question. Okay, so remember when if you guys have not yet, I definitely want you to click on training. At the very top of the training tab, it is going to have, hang on 1 second. At the very top of the training tab, it's going to have Dispute Panda Attack Guide. You need to download the attack guide so you know how you're going to dispute for your client. Once you get more seasoned and you decide I want to do consumer law or I want to do factual disputing, that is fine. But if you are wanting a software to help you walk through what you need to do, you need to download this guide at the top of the training tab because it will tell you exactly what you need to do for every single month for up to 12 months for your client. Okay. So when we're here and we're looking at the credit report for the client, this is the inquiries that are at the top. The inquiries, of course, you know, are hard inquiries that are pulled for your clients. This can be affecting their credit scores negatively based on how many inquiries they had. I had one client that had 200 inquiries at one time. I was like, please stop, right? What you want to do as a best practice, you want to make sure that if you're going to dispute an inquiry, it is not linked to an account that is showing open and active on the credit report. So if the account is showing on the credit report, but it is closed, I don't care if you dispute that. But if that account is open and active, you do not want to go ahead and click dispute up here because you're going to generate the letter and you're running the risk of having that account closed for your client. That is not what you want to experience, okay? Especially if they've had it for a while. So what you want to do, yeah, Coach Gigi, no, come on, Coach Gigi with the facts. Come on, somebody. So you want to make sure that you're looking over your client's account before you move forward. So if you're like me, you can do Control F. I am a scroller. So I will see here that it says OneMain, and I will scroll down to see if I find a OneMain account. But if you want to, you can literally just type OneMain.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If an account accidentally closed, is it a way to reopen it for them?
It's up to the creditor. You can't reopen anything for them. So let's say you clicked on Capital One and the person had a Capital One account down here that was open and active. Capital One can choose to not give them back that account because of the fact that they said that inquiry was not valid. Therefore, they're worried about fraud and opening their business up for potential charges and fees. So the best practice is before you click anything, make sure you're looking at your client's reports in its totality so that you don't make that mistake, because the creditor can turn around and tell them no, or the creditor can turn around and tell them, and Chase is really one for doing this, that they'll turn around and say, well, you got to apply for another credit card, which means they're now going to get another hit on an inquiry during the process that you're trying to help them. You get what I'm saying? So you don't want to do that. But one of the great things that I like is if you click this I button right here, you have the ability to see the full breakdown of the client's information. So I'm talking to, now I'm going to transition a little bit to the people who are doing this for yourself. I want to make sure that you're leaving with as much sauce to be great for yourself and be able to educate yourself out of whatever situation you're in now, right? So the way that Credit Dyno works is that it pulls all the information and you can actually see your payment history and your account health. So when you're looking at the profile, you'll be able to see if the account is open or closed, which credit bureaus are housing the information, right? And of course, any remarks or derogatory comments. You can also see the payment history. So if you're doing this for your mom, your cousin, your brother, or even yourself, you can look and see, okay, well, payment history is not my big deal. Remember, there are 5 components to your FICO score. The heaviest is, do you pay on time? So if you're at 70%, you already know out the gate, boo-boo, you messing up. You messing up. Because that's 192.5 points, over 192 points by itself, because you're not paying on time. Now, the more you start to pay on time, you earn those points back. But understand, if you're not at 100%, you are missing out on points. And now you have to make sure that you're doing the right work. So now I'm going to make sure that I pay twice a month. I'm going to pay on a statement date. I'm going to pay on the due date, right? Why are you doing that? Because you're looking at the fact that the next biggest portion of the credit report or the credit score model is, what is your available credit? So in this particular case, I know, and let's be clear, I know that this account is closed, but if this was an open account, this person, meaning myself, this would have been my file, right? I would have been over my credit limit by $823. So I'm not getting no points because my utilization is more than 100%. Right? So now I'm going to be like, okay, shoot, how do I get myself out of this situation? One of the tips that I tell them is to focus on paying it down to at least the credit limit. If you are not able to do that, you're going to pay minimum payment times 2 plus $4. That is a tip I give in every class. I'm going to give it to you here. This will give them some breathing room as they're trying to get their life together. Right? But when you're educating yourself, you're looking at this, you're like, oh, snap, my Capital One is over the limit. That is hindering your credit score, because your utilization is 30%, which is over 160 points that you're missing out. So if you're just doing the point calculations, that's over 300 points that y'all are leaving in the wind because you're not paying on time and because you're using all of your balance. You follow what I'm saying? Okay. So this is something that if you have, now going to the client section, Coach Gigi, when you have your clients, you're able to talk to them and say, hey, I've noticed a trend. You can look at their Capital One, you can look at their Discover and be like, okay, so Discover, you're at 80%, but you are over your limit with Discover. You get what I'm saying? So now you're able to have this conversation that, hey, what do we need to do? Is there a way that you can do a balance transfer and move some of what you're over onto another account while you're focusing on paying stuff down? Is there a way that you can pay this down so that you're not over the limit on your card, right? You can have these real heart-to-heart conversations and you can show them in black and white, boo-boo, this is not me. This is what they tattletaled on you for. This is what they said you did, and your behavior is going to subsequently generate a number, right? And we want that to be the best number possible for you. So you're able to go through and navigate the waters and educate them. Okay, this is what it looks like. You're not showing up, your Discover is not showing up on Equifax, but it is showing up on Experian and TransUnion, and it's saying you're over the limit. Let's get that down. Let's curate a plan on how we can get that resolved so that you're no longer over the limit from what you owe, right? And if you can see, it says that it's 11,589 on TransUnion, but it's 11,687 on Experian. So the information is not accurate. So now we're going to question, what is accurate? What is your balance right now? Right? And you're able to help mold them and take them through that credit conversation. Now, if at any time, let's say a client says to you, listen, I'm arguing with Discover, or I'm arguing with Capital One. I know they charged off on me and that's not fair. They should not charge off on me. I'm taking them to court. You can just uncheck these boxes and don't even dispute it for the client. If they're educating you on something, right? I have a client, in my coaching program, there was one of my students had a client who was arguing with the timeshare. And she was saying that she did not purchase the timeshare. And I was like, okay, but the timeshare has contracts. So have you asked for the contracts? You know, I walked her through that process, and the contracts came back with her signature on it. And not just her signature, but she was in first position, honey. The husband was in second. Okay. So this is her account. This is her timeshare. Okay. And she's like, I'm not paying it. I'm not. And she was just like, don't dispute it. Personally, I would have been like, I can't do your credit because no matter what I do, you're still going to have something negative that's going to be there. So it's going to look like I'm treading on sand, and that's not going to work for me, right? But she was like, listen, if you fix everything else, I could care less about this timeshare. I want all my other stuff cleared up. So my coaching client went ahead and continued working with her and just did not dispute that one particular file. Now, I want you to understand that when you come in, the system automatically picks all of the accounts that need to be rehabbed, that needs to be worked on. So if it's derogatory, if it's negative, it's going to select the information. As you can see right here, but the Discover card says it's open, but it's still checked. And when you look, it's telling you that it's still checked because there's derogatory information because this client has been late 90 days. Right? So we're going to, even though they're going to go through the round, the system is going to generate and actually push out a late payment letter for it instead of allowing you to not dispute this, even though it's in active status. Okay? So you don't even have to worry about it. Now, let's say you wanted to do a consumer law letter because you guys are seasoned vets now and you know the consumer laws and you're going to want to write a consumer law letter. You can still generate a regular round for all of the other accounts, and for the one that you want to do the consumer law on, you simply just click add a message and you can write out whatever the consumer law is that you're wanting to reference on this account. What will end up happening is, well, also you can save it. So if you want to make this into a full template, type out the whole letter, you can save it. And that way, if you ever need to use that same consumer law verbiage again, it's already here for you. And this account will only generate this message that you typed into it. It will not generate whatever round of attack. So let's say you're choosing Pinwheel. It will not generate Pinwheel for you. It will only generate whatever message you selected and you typed out in this mainframe. If you decided, you know what, I don't want to do consumer law, I want Dispute Panda to do Dispute Panda thing, you just click remove and it will automatically allow it to still run the same rounds of letters for all of the other accounts that it's running on this one. Make sense? All right. And now in order to move on to the attack, you have to click save. If you do not click save, you are not going to be able to go to the next round because the system needs to know that you're in agreement to disputing that profile. So for me, I saw there was no OneMain. I'm going to elect to go ahead and select inquiries for OneMain because there's no accounts listed underneath that belong to that. And then I'm going to hit save filter. It will take me to the attack portion where I can start my attack. Now, before we pick an attack, because I love to give the room an option to pick an attack, I want to point out that as long as you have money in your balance, you can generate what's known as static letters. Static letters are letters that you can send to the creditor or the credit bureau. So let's say, for instance, a young lady, Miss Britt, that said that she already started the process. Let's say TransUnion came back to her and said, oh no, we think that you're working with someone else, so we did not process anything, and they basically provided her with a stall letter. She has the ability to come here and click stall. If she has the pro version, she will be able to go ahead and upload the last round of letters that she completed into the software by clicking add additional, put the month and the day and the year that she originally generated, and then generate a stall round. This costs no dollars as long as there is money in your balance. So any of these stall letters are free 99 as long as you have money in your balance. So if you're wanting to do a personal information letter, if you're wanting to speak to the third-party companies that house your information, such as LexisNexis, Innovis, LCI, ARS, Credco, you literally have all the letters here that you can select from. And again, it's completely free as long as you have money in your bank. Okay, but we're gonna get into it today. So I have the documents up and I want to talk about the attacks and how the attacks work. So in theory, in reality, all of these attacks work well. I personally either do the blue attack or the red attack. So the blue attack is more efficient. The red attack is more effective. If you are going to say something like, oh, well, what if the client has charge off, or what if they have a repo? Any one of these methods are going to be beneficial. It all depends on if you're following the flow. So when you're looking at the attacks, they're telling you what is supposed to go out certified, when you are supposed to send the information out. And as long as you're monitoring and following the flow, you are not going to go wrong. Okay, guys? So with that being said, I wanted to know if you guys want to drop in the chat, drop me something black if you want to do the black attack, white if you want to do the white attack, blue if you want to do the blue attack, or something red if you want to do the red attack. Again, efficiency versus effectiveness to me, and I'm going to tell you how I leverage it. If I have a client who's going to be with me and I know that they have time, there's not a rush, I'm going to choose the blue attack. Personally, if I have a client that's in a little bit more of a rush, their window is 6 to 8 months, I'm going to do the most effective because it's hard hitting. It does do a little bit more segmenting in the letters that you pick, and we're going to go through the letters in a moment. So no one's dropped anything, so I guess I'm just going to pick something. I think I'm just going to pick something. So I'm going to, red. Okay, Ivy said red. I like it. So the first round of attack for the red is Pinwheel Super Boost certified. As you can see, it has the return to sender. It tells you that this letter is in color, not in black and white. It also tells you that it's a single-sided letter, and it tells you that it's supposed to go out on day 1. Okay. So when you now go into Dispute Panda, and we're going to go ahead and select an attack, it was Pinwheel Super Boosted. It was Pinwheel Super Boosted, and it's round 1. What you're going to do is come here and you're going to go Pinwheel. And I'm sorry, Supreme Boosted. I don't know why I always say Super Boosted. And it tells you basically what the letters are, okay? So in this particular round, one letter is going to have 7 accounts and no more than 10 inquiries. So if you have a client that has a lot of inquiries, you're not going to be able to attack all of the inquiries in this round. It's just not going to be feasible because of how the letter is written. So you are going to go ahead and know that it's going to be a single letter, 7 accounts, and 10 inquiries is going to generate on the letter for you. Okay, you're going to select it. Now, if you are in the pro, you are able to click generate creditor letters, and the system will also print you letters for the creditors as well as the credit bureau. So that means you will actually get letters that say Capital One directly for Capital One. You'll get letters for One Main. You'll get, you know what I'm saying? It'll be individual letters that will be generated specifically for the creditors. If you want to change the font from regular font and you want to use handwritten font, you can choose that. I have interchanged them where I will switch it around depending on the clients. I might do letter 1, round 1, Regular, round 2 regular, and then round 3 I've changed it where I've done it with the handwritten font. There's some accounts that I've done it where I've just done it regular all the way through. The results for me have not been any different, but you do have the ability to make it look a little bit more personal, just for heads up. Once you have selected the type of attack, you're going to hit start round. You will hit confirm. And remember, in this case, this client used Credit Dyno, so there is a free attack right here. So you're not paying for anything. You don't have to load anything, and the rounds will generate specifically for you. And then you are able to go ahead and print, or I'm going to show you guys in a minute. You see how it says mail out? So if you guys are not a control freak like I am, you can select to have it mailed with this client's accounts and what's left, the letters that are going to go out to each credit bureau. It's only going to cost $9.71. However, the first round is supposed to be certified. So you would simply click here and change it to certified, and it will tell you how much it costs for the certified mail for those clients. And then as long as you have money in your bucket, you would simply click pay and mail, and you're good to go. If you do not have money in your bucket, you can literally just close out of this, put the money in, and just come back and click mail out. All right. So we have officially, go ahead. What questions do you have, my love?
I have a couple of questions. So the
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do that again. Come back. I'm sorry. I was clicking my mouse and it clicked. I'm so sorry. What was your question?
That's okay. My question is it a good idea to generate a letter to the creditor too? Because the creditor might have like evidence that the impact
The account is valid. I do think it's a good idea. I personally do use, because I have Pro, so I personally do generate letters to creditors. Most of my clients, however, their account has been sold from company to company to company. So getting that contract, getting that information is a little bit harder, because most of these third-party companies that are buying, especially in bulk, they're not buying the full file. They're buying the name, the amount, things of that nature. So you have the ability to possibly get that. They can't validate the information. Now, if you are able to go ahead and get, let's say you do get it validated, you can now have a conversation with your client about what the settlement looks like, so that now you can, because let's be clear, a settled debt, a paid debt, you can get off of the credit report, right? So if you're able to educate them, and let's say they do come back verified, let's say it does come back valid, you can now have the conversation with them that, okay, this is hurting you because it's still showing derogatory, it's still showing you have this outstanding balance. Let's talk to them and let's offer them 30%. As long as we verify that they are able to collect from you. If this is a third-party service, so let's say Verizon sold it to LVNV. If you have proven that LVNV can collect in your state, in your city, then you can have the conversation with your client, like, let's talk about settling that particular debt, and let's start at 10%. I always start low, because more than likely they'll settle at about 30%. 30 to 40 is what they're looking for. What's your next question?
Yeah, so we can still dispute something that there is still a balance in it?
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
when you're looking here, remember when we were looking here, there's still balances. This is a charge off, right? It was a charge off collection. The account summary says that they still owed $4,823. They owed something. Right? So you can still dispute it, because the question is this really what we owed? Is it correct that they were really late? Like, these are things that you can still challenge, even though there's a balance on it, because you want to make sure that you're also questioning the accuracy of what has been reported. Great.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, thank you.
My pleasure. Any other questions, guys? All right. The history tab, of course, shows you the letters that have been generated. it shows you the credit report that has been pulled, and then of course the scores. So if you ever want to have a discussion, and I'm telling y'all right now, because I like to keep it 100 with y'all, I have had clients come to me talk about, why is my credit score low? Because when I started with you, it was 700. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, it wasn't. Let me show you what it was when you started with me, right? Like, I've had this conversation because I like to hold people accountable. Not only that, my email sends them the information. This is where you started. This is where you go. When I send that, I personally do the social media post where it shows what has been increased. I send that to my clients every single month, and I put that in their file. So now when they come to me and they say something, because I've had people send me a text message and say, hey, Raquel, my score was a 700 when you got with me. Hold on. I'll come back and I'll send them this information, not for them to hold accountability, because I'm telling you that when you started with me, you were not at a 700. This is where you were. And I've had clients where I've gotten them to a 700 in less than 3 months. And then they close an account and now their credit score goes back down. And then they're upset. But we talked about not closing anything, right? We had this dialogue on what was expected of you, and you decided not to. There's nothing I can do but give you the education, and you run the play. You follow what I'm saying? But you're able to see that. You're also able to see invoices. And on the pro side, if you want to leave a note, client disputed such and such and says that their credit score was higher than what it was. I sent them a screenshot. You can put a note in there. Every time I go, I'm going to send them an email, including where they started from and where they are now. That is something that I implemented so that my clients could see the trend. And I also include their inquiries, because I have had clients who have gone and gotten more, run their credit even more. And I've gotten things off, and then more inquiries and more disputes come in. So I like to make sure that I'm being fair to them with knowledge, as well as to myself, so I can see the growth and the glow through the process. Okay. So you have officially loaded yourself and completed your first round of disputes. I'm going to open the floor for 20 minutes. If anyone has any questions, concerns, or comments, you guys can come off mute, write it in the chat, and I will be happy to answer.
I have questions.
Mhm.
What do you tell them from the beginning, that your expectations of them?
When you talk about like the process of credit repair, like how that relationship works. Okay, so I tell everyone it's a partnership, just like a marriage. You can't be in a marriage and only one person is doing everything, right? So I will write the letters for them, but their behaviors is going to dictate what their credit score is ultimately going to be. Are you paying on time? Are you using high balances? Understand that I'm writing the letters, but the responses are coming back to you if you're doing that model. There's some people, like my accountability partner, she actually does it the other way, where she lets the credit bureau know that she's writing the report, so the responses come back to her. I personally like the responses to go to the client, because a lot of times I think that the credit industry is a little bit similar to car insurance, except because car insurance is mandated by the state, people will pay it with no disputes, right? But with credit repair, if they don't see the numbers increase, if they don't get something in the mail, they're feeling like nothing is being done. And I like to shift that particular narrative by educating them through the process that, yes, I'm writing the letters for you, but I also need you to be aware that you need to check the mail. You still need to make your on-time payments. You still need to make sure that your utilization is down. You need to make sure you're not applying for a bunch of credit, right? That's the education piece that we're giving. So I'm writing the letters, but your activity is going to be in partnership with what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes. What questions do you have, Miss Gigi?
Oh, I was gonna I'm a little sleepy, sorry. I was gonna talk about what you said to the lady that was just speaking. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry, Miss Nugent. If you give a contract initially, you can state everything she said in it. So when they say you didn't tell me, they sign it and they give it back to you. Because inside of it, it'll definitely say about, please, for the next such and such a days, don't do X and don't do that. So you can just explain everything she said in the beginning.
Do you
Yeah.
guys have, oh, thank you so much. Do you guys have like a template emails or a contract that you share?
In the Dispute Panda community, there is one there that you can pull from. Just for transparency, you will you will have to modify it for your state, because every state has different verbiage that needs to be in there. But there is one in the Dispute Panda community, which you guys can get here. JM or David, can you drop the community link as well in the chat so that they'll be able to see it? And you can actually go there, whether it's free, whether you have the free version or the pro, you can still be a part of the community and you'll be able to get the contract there. Great question. So Donette, is that how you say it? Donette, are you still here?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay.
Donette. It's
Thank
Donette.
you. Donette. Okay. JM did drop the links for all the videos, but when you say you're getting an error message, which credit monitoring tool are you leveraging?
When you say leveraging, what do you mean?
Are you using Identity IQ? Are you using My Score IQ? Are you using Smart Credit? Whose software are you using for credit monitoring?
Okay, so I wasn't using credit monitoring. I just uploaded with free annual credit report.
That will not work. The free
Okay.
annual credit report does not work within our software. So you have to use a credit monitoring software in order to leverage. So you can use Credit Dyno, Smart Credit, Identity IQ, or My Score IQ.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, great question. Great question. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Yes, do we have a community where we network? Like a Facebook group or something?
So we do not have a Facebook group because we did not want to be taken off platforms or put back or anything like that. So the community that you're seeing on the screen right now, when you actually click join the community, you will be in our Dispute Panda community that is not on Facebook. So you have, it looks very similar, but you're able to have discussions with everyone, ask questions, get ideas, all of that stuff. So you'll be able to network with people who are already using the software.
Okay, it's inside the disputepanda.com. There's a
Nope. So we dropped the community link in the chat.
Yeah, I see it.
Yep. So, and you have to click on join the community. Once you click join the community, you'll get an invitation code in your email and you just click on it and you create your username and password there.
Okay, got it.
Great question.
And what another question is, what if there's a client have a balance on an account and it's still active, but they say, I don't believe in paying it anymore because they mess me up. And if you dispute it for them, they'll be taking off. Is that legal?
No, you're only, so if the account is open, the only time the open and active information that I gave earlier applies is when you're dealing with the inquiries. If you dispute the inquiries on an open and active account, it will cause the account to close. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But if you have an open and active account, so for instance, you have this Discover card. So in your scenario, I want to make sure that I'm clear. The Discover card is open. There's nothing derogatory on the Discover. So that means when it came in, this was not checked. Is that correct? And your client is telling you that they do not want to pay the card anymore.
Yeah, because there's some disagreement or something like that.
Then they are being dishonest and poor stewards about what's going on. If they don't like what's going on, they can dispute it. But if they're wanting to maintain a good credit health, then the option that they would have is to pay off that card and just not use it anymore. If they're coming to you and telling you up front, I'm not going to pay it, and I just don't like the way that they did business, then honor what you paid because you did use the card, right? You still owe that money. Pay that money back and you can elect not to use the card anymore. You get what I'm saying? But you're not going to, if they tell you now that they're not going to pay anything more and they elect to no longer make payments on that card, that's going to lower their credit score, because they're going to have now late payments on the file, and that doesn't make sense. I would not take them on as a client. I'm with you, Coach Gigi. I would not take them on as a client. Now, if they were already behind, you follow what I'm saying? Now we're going to have conversations about what we need to do to get you caught up, what we need to do to get you help. At the end of the day, even if Discover made you mad because they approved a charge for $100 that should not have been approved, that other $1,000 you used is yours. You get what you did approve that. So pay back that money that you owe, and then let's keep it moving. And then give them options of other credit cards that they can leverage to continue building their profile, and then move away from Discover altogether.
Okay.
Right? Okay. Any other questions?
So if the Discover, if they're late, you will talk to them about keeping up the payments, but you still help them to dispute the late ones?
Absolutely, because now I want to verify if it's late. You have to remember that the question that you would have is, although the company is saying that you're late, are you really? When was the payment due? When did you get the money? Can you confirm that that information was late? My job is not to say, because if you ask your client, let me say it this way. If you ask your client, were you late on Discover? They may not know. When did they pay? When was it due? Especially if you're looking, so if you're looking at this particular person's payment history was back in 2022, right? How much do you remember of you missing a payment? Was it as many as what's coded here? So the letter is going to come back and ask for validation that was a late payment. I normally tell people that when you're dealing with a late payment, the first thing that you should do is, when I go to my static letters, I normally start mine with a good faith letter to the creditor. So if I'm dealing with a late payment issue with my client and that's all she really has, I would select that one creditor. So in that scenario, when you get to the dispute tab, you wouldn't select on anything else. You would uncheck everything that's on file and you would only check the Discover, right? And then you would hit save. And then you would go and literally do the static letter and do the goodwill letter for that one person and send that letter out. But I normally would do a goodwill letter normally like second or third month is when I do it, because I do want them to validate that the late payments were accurate, because sometimes it wasn't accurate. And again, late is different. So for instance, if you are talking about a mortgage, if the mortgage is due on the 1st, they have until the 15th. Right? Or they have until the 30th. I'm sorry, they have until the 30th because they have 29 days before they're late. So even though they're late for the creditor because the mortgage was due on the 1st, if they paid on the 15th, they're not late. But if that same creditor reported them as late, now you have leverage to go ahead and say, prove it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions?
For the mailing software, the mailing program.
Mm-hmm.
So you pay them and they're actually the people that are doing it for you?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's being mailed electronically to the
Nope, they actually put it in an envelope and send it out for you by mail.
Okay.
Yep. So you don't have to do anything on your end. You can leave it first class, send it out, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Good questions.
Thank you. For beginners like me, would you recommend me to jump on the pro right away?
I think it would depend. So if you're looking to do this as a business, The pro is a good option because we do have coaching calls where we're talking about how to build up your business, how to actually get people on board. But if you're looking to gain knowledge, like just for you and your family for right now, the free is completely fine.
Mm. Okay. And you have to have a credit repair license in order to take on clients?
That is subject to your state. So some states require you to have a license, some states do not. There's some states that only require you to have a bond if you're doing credit repair. So you would have to look at your state website and see what are their requirements for credit repair organizations, which is normally says CROs when you go to the state site.
CROs, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wait, Raquel,
Yes, ma'am.
do you do coaching? Because maybe she can join your coaching class and then she'll learn, you know, all the ins and outs, and anybody else that's interested.
I do coaching. I will drop my link because I normally do drop it at the end of class. So if anyone does have questions and you guys want to book me outside of today, it's fine. We do also have free every Monday and Wednesday. So you guys can come here and ask any questions. But if you want to book me offline, I will drop my appointment, my calendar for you guys to have. Thank you, Miss Gigi.
With a fee,
Yes, my coaching is with a fee.
hourly or the whole a package?
So I have both as an option. I normally start off with just a getting to know you call and things of that nature. So, but you can have, I do have a full coaching service as well that's available. But I did drop my calendar link there if anyone needs to book my time and want to talk about Dispute Panda. I'm here for you guys.
Oh, great. Thank you.
My pleasure.
The
All
first,
right.
the
Mhm.
first part is for you and I to get to know each other, and then
So we go over what your goals are, what are you looking to do. We also go over the system. I do have 2 different classes. I'm not quite sure. I think I dropped the one for 30 minutes, but normally it's like an hour and 30 minutes that we spend together the first time so that you get to ask all your questions and we get to dive into the system. And I normally like for you guys to have a client, whether it's yourself or someone else, so that you can have real life material in real time.
okay, got it.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
And if you just want to review a client, you can book my time for that as well, so we can talk about the process. One of the things, like I say, that I always talk about loving with the software is that it tells you exactly how you want to dispute your client. So no matter what you do, you just pick a flow and you move forward with that flow and you're able to get results. I normally tell, so I'll have clients say, well, what if I haven't heard back? Well, have you not gotten any letters? Because if you haven't gotten any letters back from the credit bureau, then there is a process that we can send out, right? In order for us to get the answers that you need. So we don't want to keep you left out. We don't want to make sure that you're empty-handed. We want you to be supported from top to bottom.
Mhm.
And we're here Monday and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So
And is it true that somebody told me that you're also able to dispute on child support as well?
you can dispute child support, bankruptcy. You can dispute anything that's on that credit report. Yes, ma'am.
What's your guys' thought on disputing child support? Because I have mixed feelings about it.
So when you say mixed feelings, what do you mean?
Like, what we don't know what the situation is like, but are they obligated to pay child support?
So let me clarify. When you are disputing someone's credit report, so I want to clarify. Let's say we get this Capital One account off of the credit report because they have not followed the Fair Credit Reporting Act guidelines that are required to be followed to be on the credit report, right? So you do what you're doing and you get the account removed off the credit report. That debt is still owed. It's just not showing on the credit report. So now if that's impeding that person from getting a job, if that's impeding that person from getting into an apartment or whatever the case may be, that is no longer there. That doesn't wipe out the debt. So that person will still owe child support. That person will still owe whoever he owes. It's just not showing on the credit report. So if we're talking about, so like, even if we look at bankruptcy court, if you send a letter to bankruptcy court will tell you that we don't tell the credit bureau that you are here. So you can use that letter and go ahead and get the bankruptcy taken off the credit report. That doesn't mean they didn't go through a bankruptcy. That just means that there's no necessity for it to be on the credit profile. You follow what I'm saying? So when you're saying, well, if I remove it, that means they don't owe. No, honey, they still owe. And their license can still be suspended depending on what state they're in. They still have that debt out there. It's not hindering them from getting certain things done. So for instance, I work in the auto industry, right? When we are in the auto industry and that person gets into a car accident and there is a child support lien, before they get paid, child support gets paid. So even if it's removed from the credit report, child support is calling and saying, hey, Donald or Douglas or Terrence owes X amount of dollars. And before anyone else gets their check, they get their money first.
How would they find out? Child
support knows. Child support knows, because you have to think about how they're third-party companies that are speaking to each other. When you get into a car accident, LexisNexis is the biggest housing place for you. LexisNexis holds your CLUE report, which is your driving report. Child support checks your driving report. Child support works with LexisNexis. So if there is something that pops up, child support can literally log into LexisNexis and see that you have an accident, and they will fax over that lien and say, this needs to be paid to us. Yeah. That's what those third-party companies are all here for, is that they're here to sit around and tattletale on you. They're like your little siblings. So they all integrate into different softwares and into different agencies so that they're able to know what's going on. Yes, automation does help, Ms. Gigi. You are absolutely right. And trust me, I've been on a call where one guy had 8 different child support liens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he had $4,000 is what the car was worth, and we had to split that $4,000 up between all of them and come to a settlement agreement that they would get, and the man only walked away with $500 on his car. Right now, it's possible that if he went through credit repair, that child support wasn't showing up on his credit. It's still owed.
I
Yeah.
understand now. Thanks for clarifying.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So as a mom, we all have different stance on it. But it all depends on what you're willing to do. If you don't have a problem with disputing child support for your clients, then what I would say is be very clear on who you're willing to work with. Ideally, my clientele are women, especially women who have been divorced. That is my arena. That's where I shine best, because I remember what it was like going through my divorce and figuring out what I was going to do with 3 kids. And now I was just bringing home 1 paycheck, right? And how was I going to be able to maneuver? So having a clear conversation with what is my ideal customer and what am I comfortable to work with will give you the ability to cater to that particular client group with ease. So if that's not something that you're willing to work with, just take it off the table and just say, no, I only deal with bankruptcies, repos, student loans, right? And go from there. All
And
right.
Dispute Panda can have the ability to dispute child support?
Yes, we dispute everything on the credit report. Yes.
Okay.
So, and the child support would show up here under public record. So it would say bankruptcy, child support. If there's any judgments, all of that would be here. So you can dispute all of them, or you can choose to dispute none of them. Okay, great questions. All right, we are coming up on the 10 o'clock hour. I do want to thank everyone who came out today and was a part. Do you guys have any questions before I let you go? Before I let go.
You say you used to work in the car industry. Is that like insurance or sales?
Yes. No, I used to work. I actually still work there. I'm the 9 to 5 coach, so I have a 9 to 5 job, and I actually work in the auto industry. I am an injury adjuster. So a lot of times I'm on the phone with child support all the time. That's why I think that's such a funny conversation. And then I do credit repair and I coach on the other side. I am a public speaker. Like I do a bunch of different things outside of, but yeah, like you can literally do this and help your family build a great foundation and network and meet some really dope people.
Thank
So,
you. And
my
one last
pleasure.
question for the night.
Mhm.
What's the appropriate fee to charge?
That is subjected to you. So here's what I would suggest. This is what I've told everyone that comes on here. Pick a price when you look at what you've purchased. So how I normally do it is how much was for your stamp, your ink, your toner, like all of those things, right? And then what is the lowest amount that you want to get paid for a client? So when I originally started, my number was $24. It was not great, but I started 19 years ago. When I put the business down, when I came back to it, I started out where it's $149 for enrollment and $79 a month. Even at that price point, some people were doing great, some people weren't. Personally, I have different tiered plans now. So I have one that is done with you. Excuse me, that plan that's done with you is actually about like $60 a month. It's $59 a month. They have to keep the credit monitoring on, and I actually get the letters for them, but I send the letters to them, so they have to print it out. And every 3 months I send them an email and say, hey, do you want to upgrade to the done for you service? My done for you service starts at $179. They still have to keep the credit monitoring on during that process. And just to let you guys know, Credit Dino does have the option for you to sponsor people. I personally do not sponsor anymore, but I did at a certain point with Smart Credit. When I was with Smart Credit, I did sponsor just so that I could make sure that the credit monitoring was on every single month. Now I do not, because I have so many tiered plans. I just don't. So I offer Credit Dino. It's a one and done service, and I tier it out. So you have to figure out what's your amount. So for me at $179, if I'm paying my daughter's getting $20 every time she touches a client, right? So that's being taken out. My marketing is being taken out. My taxes being taken out. All of that stuff is being that $179 is being split up across the board.
170 enrollment, correct?
Nope. So my enrollment is $199 and my monthly fee is $179 for my basic package. And then it's $199 for my next package. And then I have another package that's like $249.
How many months do they usually pay?
So my program is normally 6 to 8 months is normally when people stay with me. I'm in Texas, so they have to renew their contract every 6 months. So the longest I've had someone with me was 18 months. The shortest was 6 months.
Got it.
Got it. Love
Thank
it.
you.
Okay.
You're very helpful. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you guys so much for coming on tonight. David, as always, thank you for being so dope. JM, my amazing moderator in the chat, I so appreciate you. Don't forget, before we leave out, drop the link for the community again. Guys, it is free 99. Like if you want to speak to people that are like-minded, looking to help and answer, like you don't have to rely on Facebook. You can literally come here. We are not getting kicked out. No question is a stupid question, because we want to make sure that you're getting everything that you need. And one thing that I love is any updates that you need are also on this platform for you. And as you can see, JM was in here 5 hours ago, giving information. Thank you, JM. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, and we are not here, you can take it to the community in real time and get your questions answered. Also, if you are on the pro group, you are able to see the pro membership as well and get through the discussion forum. And other than that, I want to say thank you guys so much for coming out tonight, investing in yourselves to get better credit and with your clients. Miss Gigi, I can't wait for your imports, okay? If you have any questions, remember, go to info@disputepanda.com. We are 24/7, not me. I'm not 24/7.
I put a message in there earlier if somebody could send me about smart credit, because I was affiliate and majority of my clients are smart credit. So I want to try and upload them or convert them over.
Oh, okay. So when you go to the training tab, okay, if you scroll down right here, hold on, getting started. I'm going to show you, because smart credit is a little bit tricky, but right here where it says import smart credit, you literally just click that and it shows you how to import it. You have to get the HTML code in order to do that, but I'll click this and I'll send you the link. Hold on, I'll just grab this one for you and I'll put it.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Now I'm gonna tell you, shameless plug, I am so team this Credit Dino. Look, JM must have been reading my mind where he says for best credit monitoring, get creditdino.com. I definitely do love Credit Dino. I was a part of Smart Credit. I still have my sponsor code, but when I found out I can get 7 years of the credit report from my client, I was sold, hands down. So if
I can get some to convert, but some people are creatures of habit and they're like, why do you want to do that? What's going on? So I'll play it by ear and see how it goes.
And remember, the benefit is, and this is how you can position that, because I've had people that are like that. One of the number one is that this new credit monitoring service that I'm sending you to will allow me to go ahead and dispute with the creditors also. So now I'm sending out like my attacks are more impactful, right, through the process. So it does depend on how you put it through. But I always say start with the people you know like new things, honey. You know what I'm saying? Start with them folks.
Yeah.
and if you want to, they ain't with the change.
Right. Those, and I have like 50, it's 50-50. So, but thank you so much. I'll be on again. What day? I got an email,
Wednesday
so I guess
is the next day. Yep, Wednesday's the next day we're here. So if you have any questions or if you have any issues, you can definitely come back. But remember, customer service is 24/7.
All right, and I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna keep talking. Have a good night. Bye.
You too, my love. Thank you. Did you have another question, Ms. Nugent?
Yes, support is only through email, correct?
Yes, right now support is through email.
Only, okay.
So you can click on contact us and do it from there. But yes, our support service is email right now. Thank you, David.
And then will you recommend taking payments upfront instead of monthly? Because sometimes they don't make monthly, they behind in payments.
So I'm going to tell you what the process is. The way that it's written for credit repair organizations is you're supposed to build in the arrears, which means you can take a first work fee so for instance, if you were to become my client today, I can take a first work fee for this month after I have done something, which in that case is normally the analyzation, the credit analyzation where I go through. So like how I showed you, this is your credit health. This is where you've been paying late, things of that nature, right? In that moment, once I've completed that, I can then bill you. So I can collect the first work fee. That's reasonable. And then from there, I have to bill after I've generated letters. If you are electing to collect money up front, the only way that you can do that safely is what I will say is if you're offering it with something else. So meaning you're giving on-demand training that is going to cost $600, and that will come with 6 months of credit repair, right? Or something of that nature. But legally, the way that it's written is that you're supposed to bill in the rears. So meaning after work has been complete.
Mm.
Okay. All
And
right.
if they don't pay, are we able to go after them or anything?
You can elect to do that. I don't, but you can elect to do that. What I've noticed that is if they decide not, so I don't have a lot of people that don't pay. I will have clients who will say, listen, I can't do it this month. And I educate them that, okay, if you can't do it and you're taking a break from the program, that's fine. You're going to now need to allow me 60 days when you decide to come back in order for this to be processed, right? But I personally don't go after them because I already know that they were not in the best credit health. And most of the time, if you're having that, you have to check the clientele that you're going to, right? Because you want people that are serious about their credit. You want people that are seriously going to do that. So if they're having a hard time, my sale point at that point would say, okay, instead of us doing the done for you service, I'm going to do the done with you service, and I'm going to lower you from the $179 plan to the $50 a month plan, and I'll send you the letters. Because now once they see how many letters have to go out, they'll normally come back. But you can give them a choice. Yeah. But I don't go after anyone. I'm quite sure that there's some people that do.
Okay, got it.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. On that note, if they're all hearts and minds are clear, I love to say that every single service. If you guys have any questions, I look forward to speaking to you again on Wednesday. JM and David, you have been amazing. Thank you for being a best part of the team, and I will catch y'all on Wednesday. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Raquel. Bye, Dave.